What's good? It's your boy Logic back in here with another video. This has nothing to do with chicks or anything like that, but it does have to do with the culture, like, and specifically with the word nigga. And I know that there's some black people, especially some older heads, if you're old school, we've probably gotten to the point like they've seen the 80s rap and the way like gangster rap kind of came in and kind of influenced the culture. And especially a lot of people that you hear that are a little older will probably say something along the lines of like, we need to stop saying that word, try to make it lose power, I don't like you saying that word in front of me, stuff like that. And then the younger generation and stuff like that is kind of it's kind of been a casual part of the black language, you know what I'm saying? So we just say nigga all the time. I say it too. So I'm not faulting them for that thought process, but I do have like a rebuttal or an argument or whatever. And here's the thing. We're intelligent beings and we know what history was and we can comprehend things. So there's some instructions that need to be followed, and that's really all that needs to be said. Like, all right, if you're black, and in some cases they let you slide if you're half black or whatever the case may be, you can say nigga. And if you're not black or half black, I don't even want you to go like, hey, well, my culture is made of 5% black because back in the day and everybody came from Africa originally. Like, no, we ain't doing that bullshit. We're keeping it realistic, keeping it G. If you're not black, don't say nigga. It's not the hardest thing in the world to do. There's a lot of things somebody could ask a nigga to do, like, I need you to run an errand, I need you to do this, I need you to lift this 500-pound weight, I need you to do there's plenty of other things that someone could ask you to do that'll be impossible. And all the black people ask you to do is just not say nigga. That's it. I don't know if you wake up with an itch where you're this rebellious type, which I think white folks are typically rebellious in general. They want to do anything that someone tells them not to do, they got to do it. White people could do just about anything a black person can do and then some. But if you tell them don't say nigga, it's like you putting chains on them or something. And I'm just like, come on, man. Like, what's good? Like, you can't say nigga and now you feel like your rights are being violated or you're being bound or something like that. And that's my whole thing. And yes, it does apply to other cultures. Like, Asian people don't need to be saying nigga. Arabs don't need to be saying nigga. Hispanics don't need to be saying nigga. Like, but what happens is they either hang around a lot of black folks, get a little comfortable. Black folks say nigga around them. And here's the funny thing. I know it's contradictory. It doesn't make sense. We can call you nigga, but you cannot call us nigga. That's it. Now here's the thing. You can create your little tribes and circles where maybe you say nigga in that circle, but then once you leave outside of that, basically like this. I wouldn't videotape yourself saying nigga, and when you leave outside of your tribe or whatever, your group of friends, you don't say nigga. Like, obviously, no one can control what you say in kind of like your privacy or your own group or when you're by yourself or whatever. I get that, but when you're recording it or when you're visiting outside of the group, I think you got to know the area first. You got to know if anybody's cool with it. I just think it's common courtesy. But typically, my opinion, I just think it's just safe to where nobody can say nigga unless you black. All right, I don't think that's hard to follow. I don't think that's unfair, because there's plenty of other words that you can substitute for nigga that's not related to nigga, because nigga just means like my homie. It depends on the context of how you say nigga, but when you're rapping and shit and you ain't black and I'll tell you this, like, Puerto Ricans get like the biggest slide. Like, first off, black folks let people slide for like, when we complain about people stealing the culture, it's mainly because we don't speak up. Or maybe we'll say something real quick and then it just dies down. Like, here's the thing. Black folks created rap music. It started catching fire. People started liking the beats, the sound, and then when they start listening to the message, they're like, oh, okay, they talking about real shit, street level shit. Now, Puerto Ricans, they got street level shit too. They thugs in their own right too. I get it. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand why, rap could reach them like that. You know what I'm saying? So they can get in it let alone we made up the brand of music and we letting everybody come in with their own version of it. That, okay, whatever, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Everybody should be able to be a rock star, you know what I'm saying? Or a country singer if you whatever. You know what I'm saying? But then when there's specific lingo that's being used by a certain culture in their version of a music, you shouldn't try to use that in your music. And my theory is the reason why they did use it is because, okay, they're going to talk about Spanish shit, Puerto Rican shit. Black folks probably won't really be hip to it. Maybe if the beat's cool. But when you say nigga, it's I think it's like a cosign, yeah, we one of y'all. And then we kind of just, I don't know, subconsciously just allowed them in. And then they're just like an extension of black folks. You know what I'm saying? And then what happens is other cultures start seeing that same shit and they start getting similar ideas. And then next thing you know, we lose a grip on the fucking the culture, the rap or whatever like that. Like I said, it goes outside of rap because I don't want people saying nigga that ain't black outside of music. But this is just talking particularly about music. I'm like, I've never been cool with other races saying nigga. I let it slide. I'm a peaceful dude. I don't, especially if you're not saying it with animosity, I'll usually let it slide. You know what I'm saying? Based on where I'm at, who I'm around, the context and stuff, I kind of let it slide. So I'll say that I'm probably part of the problem too. But because I'm trying to avoid confrontation, look, if I'm not in my neck of the woods and then I'm over here with some Puerto Ricans or something and they say nigga and I cause a scene about it, I get my ass beat, whoop, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how they gonna react. Maybe they'll respect my wishes, maybe they won't. I'll just kind of just chill on it. But as a community, as a group, if we voice it up, then it won't really be needed to be the efforts don't need to be put on just one single person. It should just be a known thing. It's already particularly known that white folks can't say it, right? Because they're so ingrained in the slavery and shit like that. And we kind of reinforce that. But when it comes to other races and stuff like that, we don't reinforce not that y'all are part of the oppression, just saying no, this is ours, man. Y'all got, I'm sure there's Spanish words, Japanese words that are maybe are kind of like nigga that we probably don't even know about. But you see, they ain't sharing that shit. I'm sure there's some people that know about it, but typically the average black person does not know some type of Spanish hip slang that kind of means nigga for Hispanics or whatever, but not they probably got a word for that. Mexicans probably got a word for that. Japanese people probably got a word for that, and we don't know it. Japanese niggas, they rap too. There's rap all over the world, but we ain't trying to learn their lingo. Hey man, let me just to because it's cool, and then people ask man, where did that come from? Oh, that's just a Japanese word for such and such. Kind of like nigga, whatever. Where's our culture trying to learn other people's words? Because they don't allow us to learn, or either that, or we just too lazy to learn, or whatever. But the case is, everybody's quick to get our shit. So, and I'm not, like I said, I had a little back and forth on Facebook about this rapper. He's a Hispanic rapper, and he's a good rapper. I mean, I was feeling his lyrics, but then he started saying nigga and shit, and I'm like, this nigga don't even look black. And I said he must be mixed. He had a very slight tint to him, and and his beard's a little thick, but it was brown. And I'm like, is he? I mean, I was stupid and said, is he albino or mixed or something? When you're albino, your hair is kind of white, but I was like, I'm assuming he's mixed because he's saying that shit, and but he was Hispanic. But like I said, if you're mixed, you kind of get that pass. But they said he's Puerto Rican, and he's done stuff for the culture. He's an older dude, and And I get that. But doing stuff for the culture don't give you a pass. Like Eminem did stuff for the quote unquote culture, but he ain't never said nigga. At least not on no album. So I just be like, but we obviously would like let a Asian rapper do collabs with Jay-Z and shit and then start saying nigga in his shit. Like, y'all wouldn't feel some kind of way about that? I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying I would. But I just wanted somebody to think about that. Like, nigga, the word nigga, like I said. Like, I understand it has negative connotations and then, like, positive connotations. But I just don't think nobody else should use it but black folks. It's a simple rule. It's not complicated. It's not going to oppress anybody else in the world because they can't say one word that doesn't even really refer to them in any kind of way. So, that's just my take on it. It's your boy Logic back in here. I mean, you can let me know what y'all think about it.